Still trying to throw the ball. On first and goal, second and goal. Panicking at third. Fourth, I'm wishing for a muff.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. It's your host Isaiah with Coach DLane. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, Zay. You know, it's a crazy time right now out in the world, but just trying to keep positive spirit, positive light out there, and give that off to other people and share it. How you feeling today?
Man, I'll be honest, it's been a tough couple of weeks, you know, having to go through the day-to-day. You got the pandemic. You got, the terrible violence towards the Black community that's been ongoing. But, you know, you got to see it every day. That's the thing. I don't know about you, but I've had to take some social media breaks.
Yeah, definitely. Zay, I was going to ask you, how do you feel about, like, just the state of our people right now as far as, like, I really definitely think this is the most unified we ever been, like, at least these past few weeks on the front lines of the protests. We're definitely unified. People hear us. But I also feel like we're coming together in the streets as far as, like, I just had a conversation with my cousin the other day, Zay, and I was telling him it feels like when I'm out in the streets, when I run across other Black men now, I haven't really got like too many meme mugs. Like it's been a lot of, oh, how you doing, brother? Or you feel me? Yeah. How your day doing? You feel me? Or what you got going? And I try to do the same thing, man. And I feel like for the guys out there listening, if you do get a mug from another brother, just continue on with the love, continue on with the light, because I definitely feel like it's being spreaded right now. I'm not feeling no hate from no other Black man right now, and we shouldn't. You feel me?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, just being out there at the late Juneteenth and just seeing everyone come together, there was no violence, no problems the whole time. And then, like you said, just being out and about from a business standpoint. I've been part of a lot of Zoom meetings with all Black people trying to get into tech, trying to network, trying to grow the industry. I've never seen something just all these Black people coming together, either trying to build wealth, trying to network. It's been great to see. Even in my job day to day, like, for people that don't know, I work in the tech industry, and part of my role is to set meetings with different tech companies and hopefully do business. And I've been having, African Americans that work in the tech space have been reaching out to me like, hey, can we set a meeting up? So I've seen it even on the business side of everyone just trying to come together. So I think that is the positive from all this. Yes, we see the violence, but I think in my lifetime, this is the strongest and most unified we've been.
Yeah, and I definitely want to give a shout out to some of our white counterparts out there. I feel like this generation, the white counterparts are on the front lines more than ever, and you definitely got to tip your hat to them. It's still a lot of work to be done. I definitely want to shout out People's Breakfast of Oakland. You can follow them on People's Break Oak on Twitter. They're definitely on the front lines, doing some amazing work, giving back to the homeless, helping them out. A few petitions here you can also help sign. You could text Floyd, all caps Floyd, to 55156. You can text Justice, all caps, Justice, to 668366. And you can text Enough, all caps, to 55156. All petitions you can sign to help create change.
Yeah, and anybody else that has any great organizations to donate or be a part of, please let us know so we could put it on the pod and more people can know about the organizations and people making change.
Zay, before we dive into the original topic for the pod, I also wanted to ask you, we talked about it a little bit off camera. How you feel about Black Lives Matter?
No, I think that's a great question.
The organization itself and where the hell it came from.
It's two ways to look at this. To me, nothing is ever completely positive and completely negative. I look at the Black Lives Matter movement as it got white people to pay attention to the issues in America with the Black community. To me, the negative is it's been taken over by everyone else's issues. For one, I don't know who runs it, so we don't even know who the source of Black Lives Matters is. Two, like you brought up, is it a city by city thing, state by state?
Different chapters.
Different chapters. What type of level is this? And then third, and my thing is, I think there's always other issues that always get latched on Black Lives Matter. I'm seeing a lot of the LGBTQ attaching themselves to Black Lives Matter. Again, complete support for that group. But, that's a whole different separate movement, right? And I think there's too many different movements trying to attach themselves to Black Lives Matter. Like, no, if you're Black, it doesn't matter if you're, gay, bi, trans, whatever, you're Black at the end of the day. So it's strictly about Black lives. I don't think we should have all these organizations attaching themselves.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just, I just want to know, like, where's the source? Who's the source behind it? Because you remember a few weeks ago or a week ago when they had the blackout, and it was supposed to be connected to Black Lives Matter, but when you realize it's blanking out all the information that we need to see, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of fishy to me. And then Sean King is linked to it. Who was the other guy? D-Ray.
D-Ray, yeah.
And both of these guys have multiple receipts pulled on them of just, being a little fishy with the money that they're getting through GoFundMes and when they're speaking at political events. I'm just a little iffy on it. And then is it a city by city thing? Do we have presidents in each city? Like, I just don't understand. I don't feel the unity like how we have on the front lines of the protest. I don't understand. I don't feel that with Black Lives Matter because we don't know who the source is. We don't know like where it's coming from. You said it's funded by a white man?
George Soros. If you look him up, he's not the most likable guy. I'll tell you that right now. So that's what makes things really interesting. And I think as a positive, like you said, I think we're more unified than I've ever seen in my lifetime. So the next step after having everyone unified is having leadership and organization. So I think we need, it's not, it's people like me and you. We can spread the message. We can talk about it, but we need people that are educated and in the space, in the field every day, like the People's Breakfast Club of Oakland. They're in the field every day. They know what's going on. They dedicate their life to this. People like me and you, we know our sports, we know other stuff, but we need leaders, someone that can unify, that's been on the front lines for a while with this.
Definitely. Before we dive into the topic today, being Black in America, being a Black athlete in America, that is, I definitely like to shout out Coach Dico. He's a frequent guest on the 510 Huddle, a role model and a mentor of mine. He definitely inspired this podcast for me and Isaiah. He called me a few weeks ago out the blue and just gave us some inspiration, because me and Zay actually wanted to lay low and kind of be quiet right now during this crazy time that we're experiencing outside. We wanted to just sit back, but we realized we have a platform, regardless of how many people listen or don't listen. It can still be. We're just an added voice to help, and that's all we're here for.
No, and spot on it. Again, yeah, shout out to Coach Dico for helping us bring this up. Me and Coach DLane didn't want to make a pod for a while. We didn't feel it was appropriate to just even talk about sports. And we wanted to gather more information and really take these next couple podcasts really serious and detailed about what's going on. And I also want to highlight the whole reason that we even thought about doing this, because we realized about 90% of college coaches are white. And same goes for NFL. I think it's a little less. And with that being said, football being 70% Black, that means from JUCO, D3, all the way to D1, coaches have made their livelihood off the backs of Black Americans. Let's say that again. Coaches have made their livelihood and changed generations off the backs of Black players. So we're about to dive into
it. Being a Black athlete in America, let's dive right into it, Zay. It's been multiple reports. Not you're a former player at Sierra College, but other former players at Sierra College that you play with, and before and after you, have came out saying they experienced some racial issues, tensions, whatever the case may be, at the campus. Let's start with what made you initially want to go to Sierra College. And this is in Rockland, correct? Rockland, yes. California?
Yes.
Up north a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Suburb of Sacramento.
What made you initially want to go to Sierra?
No, great question. So for people that don't know, fresh out of college, I went to a D2 school called Grandview University. There, I was around amazing coaching staff, a great team. They actually won the national championship the following year. For me, I was not ready coming from a Climbers high school to be in Iowa on my own. I was immature. So I was let go from my football team, from disagreement with the coaches. Again, not a single ill word I would speak of that coaching staff. Amazing coaching staff. I just wasn't ready. So at that time, a good friend of mine, JJ Tillman, you guys, he's been on the podcast before. He was at Sacramento State. We're looking for our next opportunity. And he's like, hey, it's a school called Sierra College out in Sacramento. They got a new coach. I'm thinking about going there. I was like, great. I'm going to go back home. I'm thinking about going to DVC. Chabot, I'm a receiver. I'm trying to go to a passing school. Coach Noonan from Sierra reached out to me, knew that I was trying to transfer and said, hey, I run air raid. I'm a first-year head coach here. It's not a receiver. My offense doesn't get less than 50 catches. So as a receiver, like, oh, what? Air raid? I'm like, okay. My mom, my family, they knew me being immature at the time. I don't think it's best for you to be back home in Oakland, right? So I go up to Sierra College. I picked that school solely for the air raid offense. I had a chance to live in an apartment, be on my own a little bit with a good friend of mine I grew up with. And so I hit all the check boxes. And like you said, it's a beautiful area. I thought I was going to an amazing program.
Okay, before you, we're going to dive into Coach Noonan a little more. Mm-hmm. But can you give me a background on him, like as far as where he came from before he got to Sierra?
Yeah, so he was the offensive coordinator down in Southern California. I forget the exact school. I want to say El Camino. Okay. I could be wrong. But he had a nice coaching track record. Was a QB coach at Baylor, coached at different Division II schools. And
he's a white man.
He's a white man, right? Okay. And really made his name for himself as
Was he older?
Older, mid-40s, early 40s when I got with him.
Okay.
He's from the Bay Area, went to Santa Rosa.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I was just thinking,
we'll dive back more into with him in a minute. How was the campus environment, Zay? Like, did you feel racial tensions at all when you was walking the campus during your time there? And you did 2 years, correct?
Yes,
4 years there?
2 years.
Okay. Did you feel anything while you were walking campus?
No, my whole time at Sierra, far as I would say, the teachers and the staff there, I didn't feel any racial tension at all. Actually had an amazing African-American teacher I had that taught me ethics studies. Now, it was an extreme lack of diversity there. But out on the school, no. Now, from outside of school with police, yes, we definitely got pulled over our fair share. But the school, no.
Yeah. How about the locker room? How was the locker room? Was there ever any racial issues in it, players or coaches wise? And just for me, I never, because I remember Shannon Sharp talking about it, I never experienced any racial problems, I feel like, in the locker room.
Yeah.
I probably had feelings like a teammate, maybe, could have been racist, but I never really had too many racial problems throughout my playing career. What about you at your time during Sierra?
Yeah, my first 2 years there, as far as the players go, I didn't have any type of racial tensions. We're a close-knit group. Now, when it comes to the coaches, my offensive line coach there, a friend of the team called Obama a monkey. All right, said we need to get that monkey out of office. Right, so that was clear how our linemen felt about players. And then, like I said, we had a tight-knit locker room. No racism all with our team and players.
Okay, so you didn't feel, but you just said track down the offensive lineman. So you felt like the offensive lineman shared some of the same sentiments as the lineman coach.
Okay, the coach, yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what about, so you kind of touched on it already, but did you or any of your minority teammates ever have any like bad encounters with the police outside?
Yeah,
while you were there?
One of my teammates, I won't forget this day, we had a place called Alberto's, right? Just a 24-hour Mexican spot, right? You only get burritos there. So it was around 8 o'clock. Me and my friends, like college, playing video games. We got hungry, went out to grab a quick bite to eat. We got pulled over. There probably about an hour. The police officer ran about 5 different DUI checks on my teammate, who's African American as well, and they swore he was drunk. All right, I'm vouching for him. Like, I've been with him all day. We haven't had a sip of alcohol, and so that was something we experienced with the police. Another teammate of mine, he actually filed a civil suit with the city of Rockland and Sierra College. He was falsely arrested and kicked off the team due to it.
Wow.
And because of this, our head coach, Noonan, had kicked him off the team for no reason at all. Did not allow him to get a chance back on the team. And just to get a little background on my teammate here, you could look the story up. He's from New York, so he came all the way out to California. He came out strictly for ball.
Out of state.
Exactly.
Yeah. He put him in a bad position.
Now to prove how the police were racist and wrong and the school, he won the case and they wrote him a check. Sierra tries to cover that. Yeah, Sierra tries to cover that up. That was right there is when I think it was my first year where I really, really started looking at Noonan different. When I saw that happen, like, he kicked a guy off the team for nothing he did wrong. He simply was falsely arrested and proven that he was falsely arrested. But, that's that's part of the systematic racism in America.
And Noonan's still there.
Yes, he's still there. And if you look at the team, his first year coaching was my first year there. First year head coach was 2013. If anyone, I'm curious, I want you to go look at the roster and how it looked 2013 and go see how it looks today. It's not diverse at all. Not at all. And it's really rare, to see a football team that's not really diverse. Would you agree?
Definitely, especially in SAC.
Yeah, especially in college.
SAC high school. SAC got ballers, black athletes, ballers. Grant, come on, man. And the way, what's that? Dale Campbell, what's that? Dale Oro out there. There's a bunch of schools out there.
A lot of schools, and that's and just to dive deeper on what happened at Sierra. With my coach, my first year, I was just, I kind of felt like maybe it's me. I need to mature more. Maybe I have something from Grandview, and I'm taking over me, right? I had a coach there my first year. Rest in peace, Coach Montrell, the only African American coach on the coaching staff. He's actually part of the reason I made one of my best plays of my career. 4th and 22. He said, you got to put your playmakers in. He's the reason I got in the game. I scored a touchdown. We won the game. He was there for me. He fought for me. And as soon as he left, and he left because of tensions with Noonan, he said, I can't speak on much. He's just not a good guy. That's what he told me. So I raised my eyebrows. Now, like most people ask me, Isaiah, why didn't you transfer? I just came from Grandview. So that's Sierra. I was not trying to go to 3 schools in 3 years. That's just not what's going to happen.
That's not a good look. Anyway.
So at this time, I'm going to my second year Sierra. I know my lineman coach. I'm like, okay, he's a racist guy, but it's not too surprising. I don't have to deal with him on a day-to-day basis. My mindset of Noonan is just he's a weird guy. He was emotions. Some days he'll come to practice happiest guy on earth. Some days he'll come to practice just F you to everyone. Just you couldn't understand his emotions. So I'm in my second year. I'm like, okay, I want to make a name for myself, and I'm gonna spend my second year here. During my second year, I started every game. It's only one game at Sierra I didn't start, and that was my first game there. In 2 years, I started every game. And I started going through my plays. And it's not to brag or anything, but I was throwing 52 passes at my time at Sierra, and I caught 42 of them. So I thought, that's pretty good, right? And of the 42 passes, 30 of them went for first downs. So I had a meeting with my coach at the end of my year. Let me rewind. My first game of the season, we're playing San Francisco City.
First game of the season of your second year?
My second year.
All right.
Okay, this is where everything just takes a wild turn. And if everyone knows me, I broke my back when I was 14. I have no feeling about my left foot. It's been that way since I was 14. And during the game, I had a player hit me in my back after the play. I bounced up, pushed him back. I got kicked out the game. Should I have done that? No. But anyone knows me, my back is sensitive. Is a sensitive area for me. My coach puts me in anger management after that. He says I have anger issues and puts me in anger management. In order to come back to the team, I have to complete a certain amount of hours. I've never in my life been told I need anger management. Have I been a knucklehead in the past, middle school? Yeah, but never I've been told I need anger management. From that point on, I felt like I really started seeing Coach Noonan for who he was. We get to the middle of the season. We have one of our white players come in at halftime, cuss the whole team out, cuss the whole coaching staff out. He still goes out and plays the rest of the game, and he is team captain next week. Let me repeat that. He cusses the whole team out, cusses the coaching staff out, plays the rest of the game, and is the team captain the next week. On top of that, Coach Noonan refused to talk about it with anyone and say he doesn't have to explain himself. And on top of that, would you say a guy like that needs anger management, Coach DLane?
Man. Oh, he didn't put him in anger management?
No anger management. Anger management. No.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's right.
That's wild,
that was the moment I think the whole team and especially African American players, we started talking like, hey, Noonan might be someone that's not who he is, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can't. I'm not sure how you guys' season went after that, but I'm pretty sure it probably didn't turn out the best. Because
we only won 3 games my second year. By the way,
I was gonna say you can't play for a man like that. You can't play because you can't consider him a leader if you gonna let a player like that be team captain the following week after he did some shit like that and not explain himself at all. You feel me? Yeah, that's not a good look.
And then this was the cherry on the top. Before the last game of the season of my time at Sierra, I like I told you, I did all the stats. Like, okay, I got thrown this many passes in my time. I started every game except my first game, my freshman year at Sierra. Why don't I get more touches? I'm just curious, right? So I go in his office and like, hey, coach, I just, I'm going to my last game here, and I just want to get some things off my chest. One is like, I just want to, wonder why I didn't get the ball as much as I thought I did, through my time here. I was like, and 2, I just want to understand, why I was anger management and why we've had this tension. To this day, I've never been told this by anyone. He's like, Isaiah, he's like, I'm going to get the ball to a player that doesn't smile enough when they talk to me, doesn't talk good about me. I'm not going to give a ball to a player like that. He's like, also, I'll be quite honest, I don't really like you that much.
He let his feelings get involved.
He's like, so why would I help out a player I don't really like? He's like, you're right. I haven't thrown a single fade ball to you this year. Why would I? And I said, Coach, I can understand your feelings. There's something I did here at the time to make you feel this way. He's like, I told you, you don't come practice every day smiling. You like to I don't want to misquote him here because I don't know the exact quote here. He's like, but you don't come to practice and have a jolly attitude. And it's all about how you treat me, right? And he's talking to me how I'm his boss, and you got to treat your boss well in order things go well at school or at work. I guess he's trying to give me a life lesson in a way. Then I asked him this. I said, Coach, you know what? And I believe him. I believe all that. How come I was sending anger management and our teammate wasn't? He said, I don't need to talk about that. Our conversation's done. So then after that, let me say all this, I still didn't think, you know what? I don't know if Coach Noonan is racist. I had to talk with Coach Montreal after my season, after I was done at Sierra. And the things he heard this man say, the things he has said to Coach Montreal, the reason he left, who's a top defensive coach. And again, rest in peace. He had got the head coaching job at El Cabrera and passed away suddenly. But that coach, without him, I would have made it at Sierra. African-American coach came the following year after me and was only there 1 year because of the racism he said behind Noonan. So that's 2 African-American coaches that could not coach under Noonan. And then, so I realized from the standpoint, even with recruiting, none of the black players got help with recruiting. JJ Tillman, one of our guys, he went to Southeastern. If he never emailed Southeastern himself, he would have went D2. And just a quick note, anyone who wants to watch, just look at JJ Tillman JUCO highlights. One of the best JUCO film you'll see.
And I was about to go there with Tilly as far as the end of your last story. Noonan reminded me of how. So our first, anybody that knows JJ was my roommate in college. JJ Tillman. If you know JJ, he's pretty quiet and just chill for the most part. Like, he just doesn't like to talk much. So probably like our first month there, we're having team meetings. Tilly's always quiet, but he's always like just sitting in his chair. Look, you'll think he's not paying. I don't want to say not even paying attention. You'll just think he don't give a fuck. You feel me? By the way he's sitting there and just quiet to himself, not bothering nobody. But that's Tilly. And when he put that helmet on, it's time to go to work, and he gonna lay your ass out. I promise you. But the coach used to always just say like, well, what's wrong? Tell me what you don't like being here or something. Like he just used to always pick at JJ as far as JJ not speaking up or being vocal. And I'm like, but he out there making plays. He out there communicating when it's time to communicate, pre-snap, post-snap. Like
I think you said best what I was trying to explain what my coach was saying. My mannerisms weren't like I guess appreciative that I want to be there in a way, right?
Yeah.
If anyone knows me that I play football, I only know how to play football one way. That's mad. I get myself mad before games. That's the only one. I love football. When I come to practice, I got a fucking attitude because it's a violent game.
It's a violent game. You can't be sweet out there.
Yeah.
You can't play as sweet out there.
And let's say, I'm pretty sure you always got the light skin jokes with teammates and stuff. Right? I'm gonna let you know I'm not here to play.
Yeah.
And so I'm not DLane from your perspective, as a coach. I don't have no problem with a player coming out. I'm working every day, I'm putting the extra work in. I was never a grade issue. Graduated Sierra College 3.4. I was like, what did I do? No off the field issues, never went arrested.
Yeah.
But this guy painted me out to be a bad guy.
Yeah. And what's crazy is what's ironic is my college coach used to always say everybody gets treated differently, but you're gonna get treated fairly. So if you put yourself in the coach's shoes, you got to manage egos. That's all it is really when you're coaching. You got to manage egos, man. So if you know your player is kind of like an introvert or he doesn't really like to speak too much, but he's a baller, work with that. Why are you picking at him because that's how your player is or that's how he operates? Especially if he's still producing. Like, you feel me? It was too many times I felt like in college I seen coaches just kind of pick at players and then the worst is when they talk down to us, like we boy, or when they hit you with the boy shit. Like, no, you gotta cut that shit out right there from the gate because we men. We might be young, but we all are grown men here.
Let me ask you this: how do you feel about this? Once you're in college, I look at it as I'm a man, you're a man, coach. There's no difference. You have to pay your bills, I have to pay my bills.
You're using me to pay your bills.
I know, like similar, like players like me and you, we didn't grow up with our fathers.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be my daddy. And that's one thing that I think coaches try to do in college. Like, hold on, I'm 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. I can go to the military and die for my country. And you calling me boy, you calling me son. And I don't like how coaches go to players' house like, I'm going to treat him like he's my own son. You don't treat like no player like he's your own son. You treat him like he's a player. Simple, you know what I mean?
Fair.
I just think that's something that needs to be discussed and open more. Like, I am not your son. I'm not your boy. I'm an equal to you. Yeah. You're the head coach. And yes, you have authority over me on this football team, but you don't have authority over me once I leave this football team.
And
let's let that be clear.
And the ones that make you feel like they son and shit like that, it comes naturally, man. You don't just force that shit or just say it anyway. One, like an example, we talked about Coach Rush. Coach Rush still alive, right?
Yeah, Coach Rush.
Okay, But I just know he retired. But Coach Rush from City College, man, shout out to him. I only spent 2 weeks at City College in the spring, and he made me feel like I was one of his own. If anybody's ran into Coach Rush from City College, he retired now a few years ago, you'll say the same thing. Coach Rush is definitely a legend, but he just gives you that feeling like he's authentic naturally. Like, he makes you feel like you his son naturally. It's not forced, and he's a white man. Old as hell from back in those days, you feel me? But you can tell it's authentic with him. You feel me?
No, you're spot on. And it's funny, my grandfather is good friends with Coach Rush. I've never seen a coach go to battle for his players. It could be the smallest D2 school in the world. He'll make sure his players get into a school at top notch. He'll go to battle for his players. And it's ironic. The coach that cares the most about his players won the most national championships. I don't know, right? And my former coach can't win more than 6-7 games. The man can't win shit. So, you know what I mean? Your coach at DLane, he got a natty on his belt, right? You see a lot of players come for him. I saw a coach say, you can tell how good a coach is by how many players come back to support him, right? You see the Bama, Nick Saban, right? He fights for his players. I remember his rant. He said, you guys want me to kick the guy off the team? He's 18. I'm not kicking no guy off the team for a mistake. Like, stuff like that. And my coach is kicking guys off the team for falsely getting arrested. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Right? But I'll let it die. Enough on the Sierra story. Feel free to DM me, contact me. You want to know more about it. I can't talk about everything publicly, but I really want to dive into DLane's time at CV.
Oh, yeah, man. I almost forgot about mine. I was deeply interested in what you were saying, Zach. Yeah, man, I tell people all the time, because most of my family and friends know I spent time in the South. When I went to school in Louisiana in college, I spent about 3.5 years down there. But I tell people all the time, man, I experienced more racism in Castro Valley, California than I ever did in the South. And I think because in the South, you know what it is down there as far as they don't hide it. We don't mess with you. You don't mess with us. You're over there. We over there type shit. You feel me? Yeah. California, they hide it a lot better, their racism. You feel me? They hide it a lot better. I had multiple racial profile incidents in Castro Valley, but I didn't want to take too much time. I had one specific story I think that hit home because it was just ironic so one night I'm in Castro Valley. I'm with my ex. We leave Fruitvale. We went to go see Fruitvale Station. If anybody from Oakland or really anybody that knows about police brutality should know about Oscar Grant. He was a young black man, African-American man from Oakland, California that was gunned down by police, by BART police or OPD, whatever. While he was handcuffed at Fruitvale BART station in Oakland. So I think the opening night of the movie, this is whatever year it came out. I was still in high school. I went to the opening night at the Grand Lake in downtown Oakland, or like in Oakland, you feel me, in the heart of the town. I went to see the movie. So I'm leaving. I'm in the backseat. My ex is driving. I'm in the backseat because my stomach hurt. So I'm laying down. I got all black on. And next thing I know, like when I just lay up, down the street from her crib, I lay up and I look around. I see hell of police cars surround us. Next thing you know, it's like 20 guns surround the car, aimed at me at the backseat of the window. You feel me? Star athlete at Castro Valley, 2 blocks up the street. My high school is 2 blocks up the street. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's 20 guns pointed at me. I'm scared. I'm damn near shitting my pants. I'm scared. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, you feel me? So they drag me out the car, throw me out the car, nail me on the ground, throw me up against the car. You feel me? Cuff me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Ooh. They like, oh, you fit a description of a robbery that just happened around the corner at the gas station. I'm like, what? Come to find out later, so it was a dark-skinned man, medium athletic built. I guess because, you know, I got shades of black in me. It was me because I got all black on, and they just immediately thought it was me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even fit the... Y'all said dark-skinned, man. I ain't dark-skinned, but clearly you see I'm a brother. You wanted to pull me over. Okay. Like, that shit. And it was just ironic to me that it was the same night I went and seen Fruitvale Station, man. What
was your exact thoughts while the guns were drawn on you? Were you thinking about
I
yourself?
was scared shitless as far as for my life. I'm thinking about my mama. I'm thinking about I didn't been shot before, so I know how I feel. You feel me?
Your lady at the time, how was she feeling with that?
Man, she was going crazy. Like, they trying to calm her down. They not arresting her right away. You see how they arrested me doing me. But they damn near started assaulting her because she going crazy on them about how they handling me. They damn near arrest her and put her in the car. I just get detained. You feel me? But they put her in the car because she acting up because of how they was treating me. And yeah, man, it was just crazy. It was scary, bud. And you know what's crazy is all of us, every black man has trauma and PTSD from police officers. So now, whenever a cop gets behind me, I'm scared shitless. I'm legal. I'm clean as hell. I ain't got no felonies, no misdemeanor, nothing. I'm clean as hell. License, everything. I'm scared. I'm still scared shitless when the cop gets behind me, bro. You feel me? We should not be feeling like that. That's crazy.
And it should be normal that we got so many stories. Like, I feel like right? Like, I was in San Leandro, same thing. Went to the movies, saw the Medea went to jail, came just out. Mm-hmm. Me and my homies me and my one homie are walking home. Police said there was a robbery at that donut shop across the street from Bayfair. You know, that donut shop?
I know exactly.
Yeah, they threw us on the ground, elbows cut up, searched us, they said, oh, it's not them, and left. Not a single word, not sorry. They threw us on the ground.
Yeah, legal search.
My homie I was with, he's a 6'4" black dude. They roughed him. And he's dark skinned. They roughed him up, searched him, everything. Me, at this time, about 150. I'm little. I'm in high school. Throwing me on the ground. They went through both my pockets real quick. They said it's not him. Legit, just pushed me away. Went through my homie. So I'm hearing this. I'm like, man, they put out 20 guns for one dude. For one dude,
yeah,
bro. Like,
sitting in the back seat of a car.
20 dude, and they don't even know. They just assuming.
Yeah.
And I always thought about this, right? I'm pretty sure it happened in the workplace. I always get called mixed up with another black guy, right? My job, it was only one other black guy in the office. They always mixed our names up.
Yeah.
I'm like, could you imagine how it was be the other way? Like, you just, you know what? Like, let's say a white dude does something to you. Yeah. You just go beat up some random white dude. Oh, you look close to the dude I was looking for?
Yeah.
Like, what? And then, can you talk about how, do you feel like there was any racial tension from your community as a football player there at CV?
Man, like I said, I don't like to brag on myself too much. Yeah. You feel me? I was all league, running back and on defense. I played in the new league. I played in the HAL and I played in the new league that it is now. And I was a first defensive player of the year in the new league. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was a pretty good player. I had another incident on campus. I don't really want to get into it. Maybe one day later, but you feel me? It was with the campus security that I was actually cool with. That thought I did something, you feel me, with this white person, you feel me? And I'm like, no, that's totally not the case. We got it on camera. Everything ended up being cleared up. But it's just the fact that how they approach you as soon as they think you guilty. You feel me? Or think that you in the middle of something. It's like you get approached instantly like you guilty. You feel me? And it's like, hold on, but I was your boy the other day. I was DLane, you feel me? I ran for a few touchdowns for you last week. You wasn't saying that, you feel me? Like, you feel me? So I had a few incidents like that, man. This shit is just crazy. It's a local town grocery store in Castro Valley, a few blocks away. I can't think of the name of it. I walked in there with my friends one time. I picked some candy up. I was gonna get it. Didn't end up wanting that kind. Put it down. Got something else. Walked out and he was like, "Hey man, what happened to that board you had in your hand?" Ooh. Basically just racially profiling me. Me and my friends thinking we were stealing. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like I put it back. I bought this. Like what are you asking me about that for? And I put the shit back. Like is it?
You know, this makes me think about what if you had made a wrong move that night, right? They would have had 20 bullets in you, right? Now let's just take a step back, right? DLane that is done nothing criminally wrong in his life, right? If he had ended his life that day, they would have killed a man that went on to get his college degree, that went on to work in schools to help other kids, and now is doing a podcast to spread awareness. That's what you went on to do your life. I think if you just say that, most people be like, that's a good man right there. But in that moment, all that would have been taken away. Yeah. And think about how many black men that would have made a difference in the world had a moment taken away.
And to fast forward it to today in present time, what's crazy to me is when we see these lynchings, present day lynchings, and the fucking media has a nerve to try to spin it to us that these young black men are hanging themselves or they're suicide, it's possible suicide. The fuck? What? Yeah. You really think we that stupid? We that dumb? Like, come on, bro. This shit is crazy. This shit is mind-boggling, man. And I don't want it to come down to like revolution and all-out brawl and war, race war, whatever. But man, it's like they keep saying, "Oh, we gotta crack the system and we gotta beat it," you know, with education and teaching knowledge and teaching people. First of all, I always say I don't think we can win it with the system because I feel like we can't win a game that's not designed for you to win. The system's not designed for us to win. And secondly, I don't know what the answer is, man. It's like, what the fuck do you want from us? Y'all are hanging us. A young black woman I just seen before we started the pod, she was burned to death today in Wisconsin. Yep. Burned to death for being black. What kind of shit is that, bro? Like,
and it was crazy that we talk about. She was mixed.
Yeah,
that's the golden rule. Like, if you got just a little bit of black in you, white people don't care. You're just all the same. She was a mixed girl. Like, she looked really light skinned. They didn't care. Like, you got a little bit in you, we're gonna kill you. And to bring up your point about you don't want the revolution, you don't want the violence. I'm just speaking. You know, everyone knows I was an American history major in college. There's not been a single time in history where change was made without violence. Yeah. And if you can find one, please let me know. And I bet you can. How does slavery end? With war. Let's not forget, how does slavery end with war? What civil rights movement? How does civil rights movement? How did all this stuff come where people go to school together? It came from death. They killed almost every black leader. They killed John F. Kennedy. They killed a lot of people. That's what started this, right? You know what started the Martin Luther King to pursue what he did was Emmett Till lynching. Was Emmett Till? What started all today? Yes, the Oscar Grants, the countless deaths, but it was the George Floyd. You know, we're fed up now. It was that fed up moment. Yeah. Emmett Till was a fed up moment.
Back then.
Emmett Till is 4 years older than my grandfather. Let's just put that in perspective. He would be 4 years older than my grandfather today. So to me, it's going to take violence and it's going to take a revolution because that's the only way there's been change throughout history. It's through violence, either war or massacres. And this to me is going to be more of a single death of George Floyd. Is going to catapult this, right? Yeah. And we see the looting, right? Without the looting, you think all these people would care? Yeah. I'm not saying it's right, but the looting gets people to care.
And let's please not forget about our black women, man. The Breonna Taylor situation, that story is god awful. That's hard. Everyone is heartbreaking, you feel me? But like, she was working 2 jobs as an EMT, you feel me? Yep. Helping on the front lines of this pandemic we fight. And man, that's you know, the Elijah McCain. Oh my God! If you read that young man's last few words, that was just like a testimony of how beautiful of a soul he was, how real and just genuine of a young man he was, and it was just hard. It's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking to see my people. You feel me at this juncture right now.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Definitely shout out to our black women. They're the ones that have to get stuck being a single mom. They're the ones having to mourn over all the deaths of black men.
Yeah.
And then also they're the same ones being killed. Like we said today, Breonna Taylor got shot in her. It almost seems when a black woman dies, she dies viciously. Breonna Taylor was killed in her sleep. The young woman we saw today was burned to death.
Same coverage. They never get the same coverage.
The black woman today was burned to death, right? We think about Sandra Bland. Yeah. R.P. Sandra Bland. 4 years ago, she was brutally murdered in jail.
In custody,
right? So shout out to all the black women that have lost their lives, and then the black women that have to carry the burden of the black men that are lost. Have to be
those they babies out there dying.
Exactly. They have to, the mothers, the wives, the friends, the sisters, they hold a huge burden as well. And again, we want to wrap this up, but this is just part one of a four-part series we're doing. The next one, we're going to take a deep dive into the overall relationship from, more highlighting Power 5 coaches and the relationship to players. And we're going to deep dive in that from, Dabo. We've seen recently what happened at Oklahoma State, and we're going to deep dive into that. We hope everyone takes it slow with this. Please listen to this and send us any feedback, something we missed on, something that we're uneducated on. Yeah, please let us know.
Send us links, pages, whatever information that we can share on here to get it out to the people. Please send it to us. Follow us at the 510H on Twitter. You can send us stuff there. Also email us at the 510huddle at gmail.com. July 28th, Netflix Last Chance U, Laney College is dropping. Check us out on there.
And also check out Crocker Report. I do some writing there. You can check out some of my insight and other football articles from other writers.
Yeah, man. And we're going to try to get this one out to you guys as soon as possible. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Still went for it. It's time to change it.